The music industry has produced so many talents, giving back-to-back hits. But unfortunately, most of these artists don't live up to their name as their careers get halted by almost anything. How do you feel when the doctors say you can't eat a certain meal anymore due to a health condition? Well, I guess that feeling of disappointment can't be compared to what you'll feel when you discover there are certain rappers you will never see again. The first on the list is Mystikal. 1. Mystikal. The once rising star used to be a people's favorite because he was one of hip-hop's energetic performers. Mystikal rose to fame in the late 90s and early 200s with hits like Shake Your Ass and Danger Been So Long. Unfortunately, his career came to an abrupt halt following a twist of events. It all began in the year 2003 when he was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment on the charges of sexual battery, extortion, and assault. These legal issues were the beginning of his downfall. After his release in 2010, Mystikal attempted to revive his career by signing with Cash Money Record, but karma caught up with him as his past haunted him. He was again arrested 2 years after his release on the charge of domestic abuse battery and was later released on bail. It seems Mystikal wasn't even thinking of a comeback because he was later arrested in 2017 on the count of rape.
What do you think was your worst experience while locked up?
Just being away from my children and missing those beautiful years of my.
All that happened left his fans in a dilemma, especially the fact that his offenses were repeated. His fan base, especially on Twitter, was nostalgic because of his old hits, alongside disappointments and anger at his repeated offenses. Most of his fans chose to hold on to memories of his music, while others concluded that his past crimes would be tough to erase. In an interview, Mystikal talked about his worst experience while locked up. He mentioned a worse experience was having to stay away from his kids and not watch them grow through the stages of life like a father should. Do you think Mystikal's case is sad? Then, how about you check out the next rapper, Tay-K. 2. Tay-K, born as Taymor. Trevon McIntyre, Tay-K's career ended before it even began. Tay-K's electrifying track, The Race, spread like wildfire and suddenly became an anthem for the young and restless. The song captured his life experience when he was on the run from law enforcement. And the interesting thing is that the song served as evidence when he was tried in court. Behind the scenes of his fame was a dark reality that would forever haunt him. At just 17, he got himself involved in a series of crimes ranging from murder, robbery, and assault, which led to a 55-year jail term. It seemed like the more he entered the limelight, the more his troubles doubled. Tay-K's song, The Race, opens with, "Fuck a beat, I was trying to beat a case, but I ain't beat that case. Bitch, I did the race." This just affirms that he did run away from the law. His fans were heartbroken only on social media. It was such a shock that the future of a promising youngster was cut short at the early age of 17. Twitter was on fire, with comments like, "Can't believe Tay-K threw his career away," and "He had so much potential." Tay-K's story is the type you'll hear in every household, where parents are to caution their kids. It's too bad he's going to be used as a bad example. What's more sad is that his career has already taken a negative turn. Next on the list is a rather sad one. This is the case of YNW Melly. 3. YNW Melly. YNW Melly, whose real name is Jamel Demons, released a hit track in 2018 titled Murder on My Mind, and the next year he was charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder for the deaths of fellow YNW rappers YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie, who were also said to be his friends. According to the prosecutors, forensic and video evidence point to Demons as the killer. Surveillance footage showed him taking a seat inside the car, from which experts determined the shots were fired.
Whew. Nah, Melvin.
The rapper, who says he's got 2 personalities, began his legal issues in 2014. It's so sad that he didn't even get a chance to show the world his full potential. The lyrics of his hit song, Murder on My Mind, are also playing as evidence in his case. Ever since his arrest, social media has been abuzz with the hashtag #JohnerFreeMelly. Regardless of the fact that YNW Melly maintains a stance that he is innocent, it doesn't rule out the fact that the stakes are incredibly high. And if he gets convicted, Melly could face the death penalty under Florida's non-unanimous jury law. If you think YNW Melly's case isn't fair, then check out the case of the favorite rapper, Young Thug. 4. Young Thug, Jeffrey Lamar. Williams, popularly known as Young Thug, has been in custody since May 22nd, following a series of accusations, of which he stands on the grounds that he is innocent. He was arrested as a part of a RICO indictment that accused him of being a founding member of the Young Slime Life YSL gang. This gang, which shares an acronym with his music label, is alleged to be involved in a series of violent crimes, including murder and drug trafficking. His problems began in 2015, when he was sued for being a part of the group that fired at a Lil Wayne tour bus, and since then, he has been on the news for one crime or another. Aside from the RICO indictment, he is also being charged with 7 additional felony charges related to possession of illegal substances and illegal firearms found at his home.
From either Young Thug and some other people in the criminal trial for this case, right now.
The bad thing is that prosecutors are seriously trying to use the lyrics of some of his raps as evidence in court against him. Not just his rap lyrics, but the rap lyrics of others who have been convicted with him. Young Thug's case has really sparked interest in social media, as fans have been wondering if it is now wrong to express oneself in the art of music. It was such a sad incident for Young Thug's career. On to the next, we have the Brooklyn rapper, Casanova. 5. Casanova. The American rapper began his legal battles in 2020 when prosecutors from the Southern District of New York Federal Court declared a warrant for his arrest. He was alleged to be one of the leaders of a notorious gang called Untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation Gang. This gang, which is suspected to have a count of 18 members, including Casanova, was charged with murder, racketeering, narcotics, fraud offenses, and firearms. 17 of the gang members were first apprehended, and Casanova walked the streets free until an arrest warrant was issued for him.
The attorney's office claims Casanova led the Untouchable Gorilla Stone Nation.
He later surrendered to authorities and pleaded guilty in court. He was sentenced to 15 years and 8 months in prison. While in prison, Casanova sent a letter to the judge stating his regrets about his past and how he never had proper guidance. He also mentioned his suicide attempts and also said that he wasn't the boss of the notorious gang, nor did he engage in the gang's activities. This sounds quite off, especially since he pleaded guilty. Either way, it doesn't change the fact that his fans might never see him again, and it definitely isn't going down well with them, as there was an uproar on social media. At number 6 is the founder of the original block Hustlers, OBH, label, AR-AB. 6. AR-AB. Officially known as Abdul Ibrahim West, he was involved in a series of legal cases before he began his music career. In 2005, West was one of the men who was wanted by the police regarding an April 15th shooting that left a man dead and 2 others injured. In 2021, AR-AB was sentenced to 45 years in prison after being convicted on federal drug trafficking charges. He was found guilty of turning his label into a drug trafficking organization that allegedly distributed drugs such as cocaine, methamphetamine, and other narcotics throughout North Philadelphia.
It's a weapon. Using our music against us as a weapon, bro.
In an interview, AR-AB mentions that the authorities are trying to use the rap lyrics of rappers against them, including him, but that they've got a First Amendment right to say whatever they wish to in their rap lyrics as long as they don't directly threaten. Fans took to social media to express their empathy and support for the rapper. They also expressed how harsh his sentence was, including the fact that he would be in his 80s by the time he gets released. Unless he makes a comeback at such an old age, the public won't be hearing any hits from the rapper. This brings us to the famous rapper, Max B. 7. Max B. Charlie Wingate, better known as Max B, is an American rapper and singer who is credited with popularizing the term wavy in hip-hop culture, reflecting a unique style that obviously combines elements of rap and R&B. Before his journey into the music industry, he had served a jail term of 8 years for robbery in 1997 and was released in 2005. In 2009, Max B was convicted for charges including kidnapping and felony murder, which led to a jail sentence of 75 years, which shook everyone. However, despite his being behind bars, he has been able to maintain a strong influence on hip-hop through his collaborations with artists such as French Montana and Kanye West.
Big rough nasty day for Big Fast.
In a video, Max B is seen driving himself to get his 75-year jail term while expressing hurts and regrets. He also thanked his fans and loyalists for the support so far, but the pain he felt while on the journey couldn't be hidden as it was visible in his voice. Fans tried to keep the spirit high by creating a movement, banging on his freedom, all to no avail. Notwithstanding, Max B kept making appeals, and in 2016, he pleaded guilty to aggravated manslaughter, which reduced his sentence to 20 years. Sadly, Max B will not get the years he spent behind bars. But what's even more painful is that by the time he's out, he won't get a chance at a comeback worth glorifying. Up next is the convicted felon from Orlando, Florida, 9 Lock 9. 8. 9 Lock 9. The American rapper who, as a teen, had aspirations of becoming a footballer, a dream that never became a reality, had legal issues right from the age of 13. This is a major reason why his football career halted. The youngster, who is a Haitian native, was arrested in 2015 in connection to a shooting that left a 17-year-old hospitalized. He has also been charged and arrested for other crimes, including aggravated battery, unlawful discharge of a firearm, violation of probation for trespassing, possession of marijuana, carrying a concealed weapon, racketeering and conspiracy to commit racketeering, attempted second-degree murder, and many other crimes. All these crimes were committed between the ages of 13 and 21.
How old were you when you first got locked up?
Like,
During an interview, 9 Lock 9 confirmed that at 18, he had been to jail 12 times, and the first time he got locked up was at the age of 13. In the year 2021, 9 Lock 9, officially known as Jaquavius Dennard Smith, was arrested after pleading guilty to identity theft and possession of unregistered firearms. He also committed the crime of fraudulently applying for and receiving benefits through the Paycheck Protection Act under another person's name. Following these offenses, Smith was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison. With such criminal counts, it is visible that his music career has gone down the drain. The next rapper will shock you. I'm talking about the brother of Master P, C Murder. 9. C Murder. Corey Miller, popularly known by his stage C Murder, gained fame in the mid-1990s as a part of his brother Master P's label, No Limit Records. He currently serves a life imprisonment sentence on the charge of second-degree murder. Sadly, the victim, who was only 16 and was a fan of the rapper, was shot at a nightclub in Harvey, Louisiana. During his sentence in 2002, the victim's father said, "I'm not rejoicing. I feel bad for Miller's family, but at least they can see him. What have we got but a gravesite and a photograph?" Severally, Miller has made appeals of his convictions and even went on a hunger strike to protest his conditions, but he remains incarcerated. Since his detention, Miller has continued to maintain his innocence and pleaded appeal on the grounds of witness coercion and possible jury misconduct, all to no avail. It obviously looks like there is no light at the end of the tunnel for C Murder's career, as it has hit a dead end. Supporters and fans have campaigned for his release, stating that he has been behind bars for too long and his case should be visited. Well, the bitter truth is that unless the court grants his appeals, he'll remain imprisoned for life without parole. At number 10 is the American rapper from Carroll City, Florida, Gunplay. 10. Gunplay, born Richard Welton Morales Jr. On July 18, 1979, the rapper gained relevance in the mid-2000s as a member of Rick Ross's hip-hop group, Triple C's. Gunplay's lyrics often reflected his real-life experiences, making him unique in the industry. However, they contributed to his troubles, as they implicated his lifestyle. In the year 2012, Morales faces legal charges on the accounts of robbery and aggravated assault. He turned himself in after the Miami authorities issued a warrant for his arrest. Thankfully, the charges were dropped, which helped him avoid imprisonment, but the celebration was short-lived, as, in the year 2023, his life took a drastic turn. After escaping a life sentence in 2012, he is currently facing a jail term on the counts of aggravated battery, domestic violence, false imprisonment, and child abuse, as he was allegedly said to have pointed a gun at his wife and baby. This reportedly happened after his wife had told him to quiet down while playing Xbox. However, Gunplay denies it all. His wife states that all this is a cause of his drinking problems and has since filed a restraining order against the rapper. He currently serves a 10-year sentence. The Canadian singer Tory Lanez is next in line. 11. Tory Lanez, the rapper, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, currently serves a 10-year sentence at the North Kern State Prison in Delano, California. He initially faced a 22-year sentence, and this was related to the shootings that had rapper Megan Thee Stallion shot in both feet. Lanez, Megan, and her former friend, Kelsey Nicole Harris, were on a drive when an argument suddenly broke out, leading Lanez to pull out and fire an unregistered firearm. His charges were assault with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and negligent discharge of a firearm. He has been behind bars since 2022 and won't be coming out anytime soon, thereby putting his music career to a halt. During a court hearing, Megan Thee Stallion had stated that she hadn't experienced peace since the shootings, but Lanez kept insisting he wasn't guilty. Well, the jury was in favor of Megan, and this is evident in his sentence. While some people feel his sentence was harsh, a good percentage of his fans agree that he messed up and that his sentence was fair. However, Lanez's father doesn't think the same, as he was seen fuming outside the court after a hearing. The next is the case of the rapper Fetty Wap. 12. Fetty Wap. The American rapper, whose real name is Willie Jr. Maxwell II, developed an interest in making music in 2013. His career seemed to have kicked off nice and calm, but there was a twist of events when he got charged alongside 5 other individuals for distributing over 100 kilos of heroin, fentanyl, cocaine, and crack cocaine in the New York City area. He was first incarcerated in October 2021 after being charged with drug trafficking. He later got released on bond, but went back into custody following a bail violation in 2022. His music career officially got halted abruptly in 2023 after he was sentenced for his involvement in the drug ring. Maxwell pleaded guilty and then got a 6-year sentence, which he currently serves away from the real world. At his sentencing, he apologized, telling the judge that he hurt his family, his children, and himself. He also stated that he hopes for forgiveness from his hometown, New Jersey. Maxwell had a lot of family members and friends come out to silently support him during his court appearances and sentences, but some of his fans didn't take it lightly. A fan commented, "Good riddance," under his sentencing news. At number 13 is the rapper who became a viral meme due to his offbeat style of rapping, Blueface. 13. Blueface. Officially known as Jonathan Jamal Porter, the American rapper was imprisoned in January 2024 following the violation of his probation terms related to a 2021 assault charge. The rapper was initially sentenced to serve just 7 months at the Men's Central Jail in Los Angeles. Still, his case worsened when in August 2024, he got an additional 4-year sentence for violating probation terms that arose from a 2022 shooting case in Las Vegas. This is a sad turnout of events, as everyone believed he was going to be away for only 7 months. Unfortunately, they will have to adjust his release dates on the calendar. In a video captured in the court, Porter's defendant can be seen trying to negotiate with the court on a perfect punishment or sentence for him, but at the end of it all, he got 4 years. Inasmuch as social media was caught in an uproar that his sentence wasn't fair, a few fans have expressed their dissatisfaction, saying that shooting at someone is a crime that shouldn't be given a minimal sentence. The next is the case of the Newark rapper, Toussaint. 14. Toussaint. Born as Rajon Cox, the rapper has been facing charges of racketeering conspiracy and possession of firearms and ammunition as a convicted felon, which led him to be incarcerated in October 2022. His involvement with the Rollins 60s neighborhood Crips landed him in a deep legal pit, which coming out of seems like a Mission Impossible tense. Prosecutors also alleged that in March 2017, Cox shot at a rival gang member, and this became a central incident in his racketeering conspiracy charges. Cox was later sentenced to 5 years imprisonment after pleading guilty to RICO conspiracy charges. He initially faced a potential sentence of almost 30 years, but his plea to 2 counts of racketeering conspiracy and possession of firearms resulted in a 5-year sentence. Cox's sentence was mandatory, and he was not granted parole in federal prison. Several rumors have been speculated as to why his sentence was reduced from 30 years to 5 years. In the comment sections on social media, people kept dropping comments hinting that he must have given up certain information for his charge to be reduced like that. Despite the talks, his loyal fans have been supporting him. So far, men have been mentioned. This time, let's talk about the Houston-born rapper, Om Bloodbath. 15. Om Bloodbath, the female American rapper, born Alexandra Elizabeth Nix, was imprisoned in February of 2020 and is currently awaiting trial on the charges of aiding and abetting violent crimes in aid of racketeering activity. She is alleged to have violated the state's RICO Act as part of the 100% 3rd Ward and 103 Street Gang. Prosecutors also allege that Bloodbath played a major role in the murder of a gang rival in October 2017 by funding and facilitating it. As expected, this allegation escalated the severity of her case. The rapper, who in an interview explained the reason behind her stage name, which is considered Dangerous, is alleged to have modiphone calls behind bars at Harris County Jail in Texas with other members of the 3rd Ward Gang. The phone conversations were lawfully recorded under the Harris County jurisdiction and intercepted by the federal authorities. The next day, after Nix communicated with the gang leader that there would be good news on Channel 13 in the morning, Sam Johnson was shot and killed by gunmen. He was later found by the police, lying in the front yard of a residence in Houston. The police apprehended these gunmen, and after getting a warrant, the Houston police searched through the Instagram DMs of the suspected gunman, and there they found conversations with Bloodbath that allegedly linked her to the shooting. Amidst the drama, fans have been praying for her release, but a miracle isn't forthcoming. Up next is the older brother of rapper Young Thug, Unfunk. 16. Unfunk. The older brother of the popular rapper Young Thug was incarcerated in May 2024 after he was found guilty and charged with racketeering, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and participation in a criminal street gang. Unfunk was known for his association with the Young Stoner Life, YSL, and was also among the 26 YSL members who were arrested in Atlanta in May 2022 under RICO charges. Unfunk took a plea deal in December 2022 after he pled guilty to conspiracy to violate the RICO Act and theft by receiving stolen property. This deal was able to grant him a release, but soonest his liberty came to an end as he was arrested in May 2023. During a traffic stop, the police found a firearm in his vehicle, and this violated the terms and conditions of his plea agreement. This then led to his 9 years and 6 months sentence in prison by Judge Ural Glanville on June 2023. In a court sitting, Unfunk was made to read the special conditions of his plea deal, which included that he wasn't supposed to be around guns. He only kept to a few parts of the deal, including not seeing his brother, Young Thug. It definitely is a sad and trying time for the brothers. Unlike his brother, Young Thug, fans do not show empathy, as they concurred with the judge, who said all Unfunk had to do was sit at home and observe his probation. But he defied orders and went out with a firearm. Prepare your shock absorber for the next case, because it will blow your mind. This is the case of the cannibalist, Big Lurch. 17. Big Lurch. In April 2002, Antron Singleton, better known by his stage name, Big Lurch, was arrested after committing a horrifying murder. He was found naked, with his body covered in blood, running down a street in Los Angeles by the police. During the investigation, the police checked his apartment and found the dead body of Tanisha Isaias. Apparently, they were roommates. From the sight of her body, it was obvious that the 21-year-old was brutally abused and attacked. It was concluded from the investigation that Big Lurch had stabbed Isaias multiple times and went as far as engaging in acts of cannibalism by eating parts of her body, specifically her lungs. Reports of eyewitness accounts allege that before the brutal incident, Big Lurch had ordered everyone to leave the apartment, leaving just him and Isaias. During court hearings and trials, Big Lurch's attorney had argued that he wasn't mentally stable due to a heavy consumption of PCP at the time of the crime. Unfortunately, this defense approach was not bought by the jury, as he was found guilty of first-degree murder, torture, and aggravated mayhem, and he was sentenced to life in prison without parole in November 2003. In a phone call interview, which was done with Big Lurch in prison, he talks about how he wasn't himself during the act, that it was all drugs. Big Lurch's act made fans resent him and tagged him the cannibal rapper. He is being used as an example of what drugs can do to a human to date. Next up is the Georgia rapper, Fuiano, 18. Fuiano. The rapper, who is officially known as Kwame Khalil Brown, was imprisoned in March 2021 after being arrested on the charges of felon in possession of a firearm. He invited extra trouble when he cut off his ankle monitor while he was on house arrest. And because he knew doom was lurking around, he took to his heels, trying to avoid the authorities until he was caught and arrested. Brown was sentenced to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to the charge of taking off his ankle monitor. His attorney defended him, saying that he took it off because he had to be around for the birth of his son, which complicated his legal standing. The ankle monitor was later found on a roadside in Barrow County, Georgia. Due to his act, he sadly won't be able to see his son until the boy turns 5. Brown was arrested again during a traffic stop in Memphis, Tennessee, right before he was sentenced. These legal cases pose a huge obstacle in his career. He's got quite a fan base, and the hashtag #UltraFreeFu was everywhere. The next on the list is a rapper who is currently awaiting trial, K Flock. 19. K Flock. The youngster, whose real name is Kevin Perez, began having legal issues at the young age of 15 when he was charged with third-degree robbery and got a 1-year probation. In November 2021, Perez was arrested for being in possession of an illegal weapon, but the case was never adjudicated. Hence, charges were never filed. In December 2021, Perez was arrested for allegedly shooting and killing the 24-year-old Oscar Hernandez, who was also known as OY Waska and Honcho, in Harlem, New York. According to reports from the police, Perez was walking past a barbershop near the crime scene when Hernandez ran out of the shop before allegedly being shot in the neck and back by Perez. However, Perez claims he is not guilty and that it was an act of self-defense. This didn't stop Perez from being named as the main suspect in the investigation. Perez, alongside 7 others, was also federally indicted on racketeering charges, with the federal authority also picking up his murder case. He currently faces federal first-degree murder charges, attempted murder, which allegedly took place in November 2021, and racketeering charges in relation to the Seaside DOA crew, and was moved from Rikers Island to a federal prison pending trial. Perez initially faced the death penalty, but in July 2023, the U.S. government announced that they would no longer seek the death penalty in his case. K. Flock currently remains behind bars as he awaits trial for both the murder charge and the federal racketeering indictment. At number 20 is the rapper-actor KR. 20. KR. Kanan Walker, the rapper who looks cool and calm on the outside thanks to his looks, was sentenced to 50 years in prison following several felony rape charges. Prosecutors presented evidence that Walker lured his victims, who consisted of aspiring models, via a promise of professional opportunities or introductions to celebrities. Once he had an isolated time with his victims, he sexually assaulted them. These rape incidents were alleged to have occurred between 2016 and 2018. The prosecution also described the rapper's actions as predatory, emphasizing the fact that he took advantage of his status as a celebrity to crush his victims' defenses. What further ignited his case and made the jury come to a decision was the several testimonies from different victims who narrated their sad experiences. The nature of his crime has attracted the attention of the media, and it definitely spells bad news for his career. Walker currently serves his prison sentence, and while behind bars, reports say that he has been involved in different activities. The report says Walker has been participating in programs that are aimed at aiding inmates in coping with personal challenges and pursuing education. While some of his fans argue that something seems fishy with 30 women coming out to testify against him at once, others agree that his sentence is a fair one. The 26-year-old rapper Lil G comes next. 21. Lil G. In July 2019, Lil G and his friend Rashad Flowers were gambling, and Lil G began losing money. This caused an altercation as things got heated between both parties, resulting in Flowers getting shot in the abdomen. A witness who saw this immediately drove Flowers to a local hospital, where he died from his injuries. The rapper, who was born George Harris, was incarcerated in September 2019 and sentenced to 21 years in prison in May 2023 after he pleaded no contest to voluntary manslaughter, which was linked to the shooting of his friend Rashad Flowers. In an interview, which he engaged in while in prison in California, Lil G states that his case is that of self-defense. But unfortunately, the judge wanted to hear none of that. Fans took their time to express their empathy for Lil G. A fan said, "Man, bro went from his group being on the Black Panther soundtrack to prison shit unfortunate." At number 22 is the Memphis rapper FTO Set. 22. FTO Set. The rapper was incarcerated in February 2024 on the grounds of the revocation of his bond, which is linked to previous drug and firearm charges. Following an arrest in November 2022, the rapper, whose original name is Kaimon Carwell, faced multiple charges, which included the possession of a substance and firearm in the commission of a felony. He was also charged with theft and evading arrest. Carwell was released initially on bond, but his bond was revoked due to unspecified reasons. This led to his recent arrest. Currently, Carwell remains incarcerated while he awaits trial. Carwell went live on Instagram, and one could see both Carwell and his friend's crew holding firearms. No one knows if they were real or fake, but it might have something to do with his charges. However, his fans reacted differently to his case. While some supported him and advocated that he be freed, others couldn't care less. Next up is the legendary rapper Diddy. 23. Diddy. The rap music star Sean. Diddy Combs was recently apprehended and incarcerated in September 2024 on the counts of charges related to sex trafficking and racketeering. He was also alleged to have involved himself in transportation to engage in prostitution. Diddy began his legal issues in late 2023 and early 2024 when lawsuits accusing him of verbal, physical, and sexual assault were filed against him. These lawsuits were a force that ignited a federal investigation, leading to a raid of his homes in Miami and Los Angeles in March 2024. By September, Diddy was finally taken into custody, and the U.S. Attorney's Office unsealed a 14-page indictment for the Southern District of New York. The indictment contained severe charges, which included sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. It also detailed accusations that Diddy facilitated sex trafficking and other illegal activities through his business empire, including Bad Boy Entertainment. The indictment also alleged that Diddy used his influence and celebrity status to cajole ladies into sexual acts while pretending to provide them with opportunities in the entertainment industry. It went further to state how Diddy allegedly facilitated logistics for these illicit activities, which included the arranging of hotel accommodations and transporting individuals for commercial sex. Amidst the chaos, Diddy has maintained his stance that he is innocent as he pleads not guilty to the charges. He has been denied bond, which makes him remain in custody while he awaits his trial. Fans have taken to social media to rant, stating that more evidence should be dropped. Others state how displeased they are in Diddy's act, and the other percentage believes that there is more to this case. There is yet another Memphis rapper, Honeycomb Brazy. 24. Honeycomb Brazy. The rapper Honeycomb Brazy's life took a U-turn after he was arrested along with his bodyguards following a traffic stop on I-65 in Mobile, Alamaty, in DEC 2023. The police discovered a Gerson MC-28 SA 9mm pistol and a Smith & Wesson MP 15 AR pistol in the vehicle. This led to all three men being charged, and the case was later taken over by federal authorities in January 2024. The rapper, whose real name is Nashawn Jones, is legally prohibited from owning firearms, making his offense a grave one. Jones pleaded guilty to the firearm possession charge, and his sentencing is scheduled for October 2024. So for now, he's awaiting trial. And the last on the list is Pooh Shiesty. 25. Pooh Shiesty. Lontrell Williams, better known by his stage name, Pooh Shiesty, was imprisoned in June 2021 after he pled guilty to a firearm conspiracy charge. This led to him getting a 5-year sentence for his involvement in 2 separate gun-related incidents. The first shooting incident was in October 2020, when Williams got involved in a shooting during a drug deal gone wrong in a complex parking lot in Miami. He allegedly shot Brandon Cooper in the buttocks in the heat of the moment. The second incident occurred in June 2021, when a firearm was discharged inside the Miami King of Diamonds strip club. Williams took a plea deal, which caused prosecutors to drop 3 other charges against him that would have led to a harsher sentence. In a video from his court hearing, his 2 attorneys can be seen trying to defend him, but we all can see clearly that Williams is behind bars. Unlike some other rappers' fan bases, Williams has solid fans because they kept pouring out support for him and wishing him well